Welcome back to our Pawed Crew. A quick introduction and recap. We are a couple with 7 rescue dogs who left Costa Rica in 2022 in our semi-converted cargo van. We drove up to Guatemala, where we found our sailboat, which had been left for many years on the hard after her previous owner passed away. She's a Dutch boat, a Contest 38, with great bones, a spacious interior, and everything I dreamt of and more. We've spent the last year and a half getting her back into the lovely sailing vessel that she is. It's time to put our boat work on hold as it is currently sailing season, free of hurricanes in the Caribbean. Join us this week as we tick off each checklist item for departure, including appeasing Poseidon with a renaming ceremony, appeasing the C4 countries, and pissing off Belize by taking a visa run.
3 people behind the counter on the immigration side yelling at us.
Tackling unforeseen battery and engine issues. And finally, venturing for the first time down the river in our sailboat, from Cayo Quemado to Livingston, which is the briny doorway to the Caribbean and to new dreams coming true.
So we're trying to get out of here. We're trying to go on our maiden voyage, our first real voyage out into the Caribbean. We have my parents coming. They're in the air right now, flying from Guatemala City over here to Rio Dulce. They brought down multiple bags for me of stuff, and 2 of the bags have the components of our new dinghy, which we'll show you guys as soon as we get it here, hopefully. But it turns out that the little puddle jumper flight would not let them bring the dinghy on it. And they said it just won't fit on our little plane. We've got a guy who's hopefully going to go pick it up. Then tomorrow they're going to bring it here to the Rio Dulce. This amazing taxi company guy named Otto. I'll leave his information in the description. But he just saved our butts. Hopefully it all works out. And he's only charging us $50 for the whole thing. So I'm on my way out the door, and I'm heading over to a lancha that's going to take me down to Puerto Barrios, where I'll be meeting my parents, and I'm taking 2 of my little puppy dogs with me.
There were days where we thought wouldn't make it out, but we stuck it out. Today's our day.
While we journey down the lovely Rio Dulce, I will try to concisely explain what's going on in preparation for leaving, specifically in regards to taking our 7 dogs. Initially, we thought we would go to Belize. Now we are thinking Honduras, and here's why. There was a little confusion. Everything started out smoothly. I wrote an email to the Baja, and what followed seemed like an easy process with somewhat minor fees to import the dogs. What I didn't realize then was that when I was asked where the dogs originated, I explained we'd started in Costa Rica, traveled up to Guatemala, and were now continuing our journey. I received our permit to take the dogs to Belize, but with a tiny but significant and costly detail. In short, we had an additional item to check when we arrived, along with the standard paperwork and vaccination records everyone's required. In summary, we were going to have a vet inspection, but what I didn't know was where the vet would have to travel from, and that it would end up amounting to nearly $800 to get the dogs into Belize, not including the $400 we spent here on vaccinations and the other $400 we'd already spent on the health certificates.
I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here, babe.
When I realized what it was going to cost, it meant a total change in plans. Was it because we have 7 dogs? Fortunately, that was not the reason. Apparently there's a screwworm problem right now, which once was thought to have been eradicated, but it's popping up again in Costa Rica. I understand now that the answer to the question that they wanted when they asked where the dog's originating from was actually Guatemala, since it's been almost 2 years since we arrived here. But by the time I'd found this all out, we had already made new plans to head to Honduras.
We were meant to be.
Okay, today's the day we are leaving this marina, but first we need to measure our chain.
If you're out there watching these videos because you were curious about life on a boat or considering setting off on your own adventure at sea, we invite you to subscribe and tag along for our journey. We are new to this. It was a dream, a very obsessive dream that had me completely enraptured. I took each step as they came, albeit very slow to start. And all the time I wondered, will I ever really find a sailboat I can buy? Am I really brave enough for this? Am I capable of this? Am I doing the right thing? Cayo and I also basically started from zero on the sailing learning curve, and we're still at the very bottom of that even now. But we are learning by heaps and bounds, and that's the thing, you will too. We've found you learn piece by piece, either by grace or by baptism by fire, but you learn. We had never anchored a boat before, and now we feel pretty darn confident, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. And now that I reflect on where we were a year and a half ago,
Today's the day we believe that we're going to get put back into the water. We're moving. Oh man. I knew I was going to be excited and nervous, but I had no idea how I was going to feel when we're actually moving. The boat is actually moving out of this spot that it's been in for years. We're finally taking her to the water. Feels so good.
I can say proudly the list of things we've learned is massive, with minimal bumps and bruises to show for it. And so I hope that you, whatever it is you dare to dream, that you go for it too, from the bottom of my heart. In the name of all who have sailed aboard this ship in the past, and in the name of all who may sail aboard her in the future, we offer you our thanks for the protection you have afforded this vessel in the past. We voice our gratitude that she has always found shelter from tempest and storm and found safe harbor. Now, wherefore, we submit this supplication that the name whereby this vessel has hitherto been known, Gentle Rain 2, be struck and removed from your records. Further, we ask that when she is again presented for blessing with a new name,
Wonderful. What does that mean? We decided?
Island.
Island. That's short, huh? Short and sweet.
Woo!
Oh, good job. Oh, she's christened.
she shall be recognized and accorded once again the self-same privileges she previously enjoyed.
Congratulations.
Cayo and Danielle. Isla.
Cayo and I have to renew the visa stamp in our passport in order to continue traveling through the C4 countries. The C4 countries are Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. The 90-day duration they give you that you can stay is actually shared among all 4 countries. Because we were wanting to go from Guatemala to Honduras, but we were out of time in our 90-day allotment, we had to go out of the C4 area and come back in by traveling to Belize.
Bought some beers at the supermarket behind us, and now we're going to Seneda's Seaside Cafe. Some Bactacan. Hello to Belize.
We're here at the Seafront Inn in Punta Gorda. It's an interesting place, but of all the places we checked out when we got here, I think this was one of the nicer options. The price is usually about $100 US a night for a sea view room. Because we paid in cash, we got the deal of $60 US a night. It's just a few minutes walk down to town. So we're walking over to immigration and we're going to find out if we're allowed to leave. We've spent the night. Last time I mentioned in our video that we came over here that we were told we had to pay 100 Belize each, so $50 US each. It's turning people away if they just were more clear on what the rules were. Some people come and don't have any problems. Some people come and have to stay 3 days, so we don't know. We've got my parents watching our dogs, and we've got a mechanic coming tomorrow to empty out our diesel tank, so we really need to get back. Dal roti and beans and eggs. Like lentils. Thank you. And those are fried jacks, chicken and beans. Yummy. Provecho. It's just such an interesting place because on the waterfront you have gorgeous Caribbean colored water. It's kind of sandy. It looks like you could even swim out there. But as along all the streets, all the buildings are facing the street and the backs are all closed off. They don't seem to really have the same kind of like admiration for the sea as we do. There's a catamaran out there, somebody checking in. So we are stamped out. We're still in Belize, but that was not pleasant. We had 3 people behind the counter on the immigration side yelling at us, just telling us, you think we're stupid, you think we don't know what you're doing, you're coming here to renew your stamp, you lied on your form, you said you were staying. They were like, we'll stamp you out, but we're gonna put a note on your passports that you made a false declaration. And I was like, oh hell you are, I'm gonna talk to your supervisor. Because we didn't make a false declaration. We had every intention of coming here for a vacation. And we need to get back to our boat. We're having an emergency. Oh, and last time you had an emergency too. No, last time we told them we were coming and we were leaving, and here's the money. And she charged us 100 each. It was so great to be back to the boat, and my parents had done such a nice job watching our dogs. We had some great friends of ours, Bill and Joanne, come and help us put up our sails for the first time. And then it was really time to shove away from the dock and head out on our adventure that we'd been waiting for so long. Introducing our new dinghy, Islita. We're super excited to get to try this new style of dinghy out. This is a New Zealand-made dinghy called True Kit, and it's similar to other dinghies out there that are coming out in this catamaran style, except this one apparently has a type of welding on the seams as opposed to glue. We were all loaded up. Now we began the journey down the Rio Dulce. We were starting in Fronteras town, heading through the Golfete Lake, and we'd be spending the first few days in the little protected, popular anchorage of Cayo Quemado, also known as Texan Bay here locally. We are just getting started, and so these days are full of firsts. We also have to navigate pet travel requirements, human travel requirements, boat problems that come out of nowhere, and sprinkled in there with every swim off the stern, morning coffee looking out over the water, and front row seat to spectacular sunsets, we enjoy the rewards that this lifestyle brings as well. Next week, we explore this area in more depth. We'll take you to some great restaurants, we'll take you to a hot springs, a cave, and we tackle the problem that was causing us some engine issues as we made our way down here to Cayo Quemado. We then ventured down the rest of the Rio Dulce to the town of Livingston. We hope you'll like and subscribe and come back next week. We're just getting started, we're really excited, and we really appreciate you being here. Until next time, big salty kisses from the Pawed Crew.